The first sound on this stream is Evan sucking in his snot, whatever. So go, Snarky.
Howdy, y'all. That's a perfect way to start this stream, because I'll tell you why. This week has been just like that. You start and it was just
Oh yeah.
then by the end you're just like bleh. So thank you for being here. We're going to tell you what's happening, but first I wanted to announce that I've got merch. Yay, merch. At the Mrs. Snarky store, Teespring. I'll probably be making more stuff soon.
Maybe.
The leggings are my favorite.
Maybe go a little slower.
Oh, go slower?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going really slow.
Well, because you just sped it through and you couldn't see it.
I did. And I'm really sorry, y'all. But yeah, I've got merch. So check out my merch. The link is in the doohickey, and I'll also put it in the chat for you. Yeah, and also I have Streamlabs. Link is also in the description. I don't have it open right now. What is the link again, Maddie?
Streamlabs.com/Mrs. Snarky.
Yay! Send me money.
Send all the money. All the money.
And yeah, also thanks again to my patrons who helped me get all set up. I have a desk, I have a chair, I'm ready to go. So what is happening? What is happening other than I've got merch? Well, the Amazon's on fire.
Real quick question.
Yeah.
Are you going to introduce us?
No, I'm not. The Amazon's on fire, and I'm going to forget to introduce everyone because I'm good at it. So, in my wonderful panel, of course, I have Maddie.
That's me. I'm Maddie from Objectively Subjective. Come and subscribe to me. I have merch too.
Yay, merch! And we also have #Heathen.
Hey, y'all. Give me a subscribe if you want. And I have a interesting premiere coming tomorrow.
Yes. That's going to be awesome. Can't wait. And we also have Faithless Southerner.
Howdy, y'all.
Do you have like a channel or?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
Moving on. No, tell them about your channel.
No, I have a channel. It's Faithless Southerner. Go subscribe. If you want to know what it's about, go watch my videos.
And we also have Red Vencher.
Hey, and I got a channel. I'm at Red Vencher. Give me a subscribe. I got another video coming tomorrow and hopefully something next week.
Woohoo! Making that content.
Mm-hmm.
And we also have our wonderful friend Trey, who is a lovely artist. And you should also check him out on Twitter. What are you up to, Trey? Tell us about you.
I've been working. I've sent in several pitches to several comic book companies in the past few weeks with a comic book writer friend of mine. And we're probably going to turn it into a web comic. So stay tuned for that. And I'll probably be drawing during the stream. Hang on, let me mute my mic.
Hell to the comics. That is awesome. And wow. That is some Trey art, y'all. That's amazing.
Yeah.
But anyway, did I get everyone? I think I forgot somebody. I forgot Maddie, didn't I?
No, I said myself. We'll also be listening to the soothing sounds of Evan's snorts.
That's what I'm here for.
Well, I'm here to tell you that the Amazon's on fire. And it has been declared an international emergency by Francis Macron. It's pretty bad. It's going to be discussed at the G7 summit. And of course, the Amazon is known as like the planet's lungs. It accounts for a lot of our oxygen. It's very vital that, these lands are preserved, right, and conserved. So what's been happening, what seems to be going on, is a lot of deforestation and things going on in that area. Of course, it's been kind of a place of turmoil for a long time. So a lot of the dictatorships and things like that have mismanaged this area, and basically, yeah, they've gotten rid of a lot of trees, and that's not been a good thing. And we've also had a planet that has been warm for a long time. We're seeing record heat. And of course, with record heat comes record dry, yada, yada, yada. So yeah, the thing about these fires that's really alarming is not only is it interfering with one of our main sources of oxygen on the planet, but also
It's still burning.
sorry. Also, it interferes with the flow of weather and how it works in the pattern. So any interference in the south is going to cause a shift in weather that we see in the Midwest, which is of course going to affect our economy because that's where most of the fucking farmlands are. So yeah, the world's on fire, y'all.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
Yep. Well,
And
oh, go ahead, Maddie.
Oh, I was just going to say, to add to this, well, the Amazon does experience fires each year, and the natural number of fires isn't really all that much higher than normal. Some sources even have it as being lower in terms of natural forest fires. The issue that we're having right now is Brazilian President Bolsonaro, DiGiorno, whatever, Mini Trump, has decided to go, hey, you want farmland? Go and burn the forest. And so people are going out and burning vast regions of the forest. And once you start a fire, it's not that easy to stop it.
Oh, yeah.
And they just kind of go until they end, until they stop.
Yeah.
Also adding to this is, while it seems like rainfall is about average throughout this year, humidity levels in the atmosphere are lower, which leads to a drier forest, which means it just burns quite a bit faster. So, like, it's a pretty big issue.
Yeah, and it's talking about the experts that are expanding on deforestation and why it's causing the levels of heat and dryness to increase. But yeah, geez, it's really awful. Especially if you consider the plant life and animal life that lives there, and just it interferes with the entire balance of nature there. But what were you going to say, Red?
Oh yeah, so I was gonna expand a bit on some of the stuff Maddie said. So a lot of the reporting on this week about record levels of fire and whatever, it's a matter of what they're using, what data they're using. So when they're citing the record fires this year, they're using the INPE data, but they've only been collecting data since 2013. So NASA, with the MODIS, whatever program or whatever, data collection on, I think it's the Aqua satellite, has been collecting it since 2003. And so that's where the slightly below average year fires, the Amazon dry season, we're right in its dry season, where it's going to burn, and it's, that runs June to November, I think, peaking in about September is when the dry season is. So it burns there. It has burned. A lot of the photos that have been shared about this fire are from fires from 10, 20, 30 years ago. I think 87, a couple of the photos were from, and there were some from fires 98. So while certainly the agricultural part of it's probably playing a part too, it's still no nowhere near what we have for record levels down here. I think peaked in like 2010 with the big drought there. They had droughts in 05, 2010, and 2016 that were pretty severe. And so
Yeah, 2010.
that's where the data is. So it burns. So a lot of this, you know, we won't know until we get all the data in. Because I mean, there's some evidence around for the agricultural stuff, and that's coming. I think wasn't there a viral clip of indigenous people that were
right.
farmers that burn. So yeah, the farmers are doing it too, but this also burns quite a bit.
Well, and part of the issue is farmers have done this, but the government cracked down on them until recent years. And basically this last year, the president of Brazil was just like, we're not even going to worry about this, which kind of gave people who were already going to burn just the go ahead. And so they've gone out and there's indigenous people that's been displaced by this. The wildlife that's been displaced. It's pretty bad. What are you showing there, Snarky?
Right here is just an observation, comparative study of the fires that have been observed in 2018 versus this year. And in the last 3 months, it says Brazil has had twice as many observed fires in the same period in 2018. So, yeah. I don't know. It seems like this is an argument of regulation and what people should be allowed to do and what they should be kind of not policed on, but regulated on, because we have burn bans and stuff like that. We have to observe those or they'll get out of hand if there's a dry season. Mm-hmm. So I think that might be the heart of the matter, but honestly, for me, the heart of the matter is climate change and how it's going to affect our weather. The weather patterns, and it's not going to be a good situation for the oxygen levels and things like that if this does not get handled, if it does not have the regulation that we need. So, I mean, with a lot of, like, we had a drought last year. The droughts are getting worse and the storms are getting more severe. So we're seeing the things that we would predict in terms of climate change that are occurring. So naturally, if you're having a drier season, the fires are going to get worse. So yeah, and that's not a good thing to have when you're looking at forests that we so much rely upon, and one that is not being looked after in ways that it should be. So I think that's what's important about this story to me. Anybody else?
It's the Antichrist.
Antichrist?
Well, and that president doesn't even believe in climate change. So
yeah,
it's like, nothing is going to get done with an administration like that. Just like with ours, we're not going to be doing any regulating to help the environment or to put effort into trying to mitigate the effects of climate change, just because the people in charge of making those laws or even bringing it up don't believe in it. So
yeah, it's really disconcerting. I mean, because the science is in, y'all. We definitely have to be wary of what we do in terms of the environment, because we have a lot of responsibility here that we need to take responsibility for, right? So yeah. That's right, Trey.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all right. So we have tonight, I mean, this topic was this is important, but what?
No, what are you going to go to next?
I was going to go to the video that made me cry.
Yes.
Okay. So
this is the most emotional video you will ever see.
So had to move my screen a bit. I'm sorry. For you. But yeah, a while ago I ran across this video. A friend of mine shared it, and I shared it to Maddie, and the reaction that Maddie had was amazing. And I want to play it for y'all because I love y'all or hate you. I don't know. Like you decide whether I love you or hate you by me showing you the video. All right, let's see. Come on, you can do it. Yeah. Making some chicken.
Sauce.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Barbecue, onion. Just mix it up real good. And,
I was with it until here.
It didn't take long.
Just keep with it, Trey.
So we're gonna make, I guess, some kind of
Like
weird enchilada.
Yeah, enchilada pie, kind of
That's a
quesadilla
big
thing.
enchilada.
Okay, that's fine. Everything's great.
There you go.
Yep. Chill for an hour.
Chill out, man.
And I guess this is relevant somehow, right?
It's a dip.
See, the first time I watched this, I'm already going, what the fuck?
And it was hilarious. So yeah. Oh, that's satisfying.
Well, it looks a little weird, but I assume they're gonna bake it at some point.
That's what, yeah.
They gotta cook this at some point, yes.
Now
That's
they're
what I
rubbing
was
it in flour. What the fuck?
Oh my God, yes.
At this point,
Yes.
I knew what they were doing.
Gotta fry this bitch?
Oh,
Yep.
oh,
Oh my god!
yeah.
It's not even the
Not-
Yes.
there, y'all.
Ugh,
Not even
Yes.
close to being over yet.
they've deep fried it.
Hell yeah.
Now they're putting that there.
Oh, look at that.
Yes. You gotta make pizza.
What the fuck?
Pizza, all the things.
Oh, this is great.
No, this is not. This is wrong.
Oh yeah. No,
This-
this is awesome.
I am a communist now after watching this.
Oh,
What,
I
'cause you don't like food?
This is what Marx warned us about.
Yes.
It's for the week.
Oh yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh,
Oh,
it's so disgusting.
I just
yeah.
don't know how barbecue sauce and pizza sauce would taste together.
Yeah, I don't know.
Awesome.
have a similar like sweetness to them. You know,
Oh yeah.
That's
No,
true.
I'm all over that.
I'd eat the shit out of that.
Yep.
No, that is wrong.
I would try it.
That is
I'd be
sinful
willing to try
and wrong.
It's absolutely wrong, y'all.
Making deep fried shredded barbecue chicken quesadilla pizza is wrong. I don't want to be.
I'm with you, Trey.
Can you
This
imagine
is-
how long that
They
actually
need to add. Sorry.
No, can you imagine how long that actually takes?
Who can?
Forever. There's
Because
so
don't have the joy.
No, fuck
Yeah,
that.
Since when is preparation time a deterrent
Why
for having?
Yeah,
why
no.
stop there? Why stop there? Why not just put the whole thing into a giant pot, mash it up, and then you heat it up until
That's-
it's boiling, add a little water, then mix it into a crock pot, let that stew for about 6 hours, then mix it with a chocolate cake mix, put it into a big pan, and cook
Okay.
it up and cover it with frosting. Frosting needs to be like horseradish sauce,
Look,
and then
you're
just serve it
fine.
up.
Okay, I get it.
Serve it
Yeah.
up.
Sound like right now, Maddie?
What?
You sound like the conservatives complaining about the minimum wage. So
Oh,
you can raise,
what?
why not raise it to 100?
Dick bird.
This-
What you sound
Old
like.
non-binary yells at loud.
Look, this is a slippery slope, y'all. You start with chicken enchilada, deep fried pizza, and you know what? Someone's gonna fuck that.
Fucking while I'm eating it, fool.
Yeah. If somebody wants to fuck a deep fried enchilada pizza, let them.
Yeah, I'm gonna paint lipstick on
What's
it.
the problem with that?
Do you know how hot the innards of that would be? You were gonna
You
burn
can cool it
yourself.
off first.
You
Yeah,
were going to
yeah.
ruin.
Came out of the fryer.
You were gonna ruin your jelking chances later on
This-
that day because you're gonna burn the upper layer of skin
Hey,
off your penis.
Hey, no. Take care of your wang and don't joke it. Okay.
No joking. And don't
Okay.
steam your vajayjay either.
If you're gonna fuck your, pizza enchilada barbecue thing, let it cool a little bit first.
Yeah, duh.
That's
It's
common knowledge.
Yeah.
Look, Sosh says in the chat, Maddie, you can't tell me you've never imagined anything like this when you were stoned back in the 90s and early 2000s. No, I can't, because here's the
Maddie-
deal. We already had a mixture of food. It was called a bagel bite, and it was fucking awful.
Oh,
And-
see,
What?
you're
Whoa.
look.
Whoa.
Can we really
Homemade
trust?
bagel bites are good.
Can we really trust the opinions of somebody who doesn't like memes? Is what I want to know.
Oh,
I can't.
What?
I certainly can.
Innovation?
When pizza's on a bagel, you can eat pizza anytime.
That's horrible. It's horrible.
Dang, Skippy.
They're so good.
No, they're not. They're
awesome.
disgusting.
all I'm
I
gonna
don't
say, y'all, is hot pockets.
Oh, yeah. This is so. I don't know what to think about Maddie sometimes.
Pizza rolls. Mm.
Maddie's conservatism sheds off.
My conservatism.
Yeah, the leftover conservative in you, whenever you swapped from being a conservative minister, decided to express itself in what could arguably can be considered in shittier ways. Like, I don't like memes or good food.
Yeah.
I like good food.
And I'm gonna yell about it.
That did
It's-
not look like good. I was infuriated watching that video.
Look, it's
Aw.
just
Good.
a repressed archetype from the logos.
Yeah, I agree.
You all are wrong, and I'm just want that known. You all are wrong. If you
Oh,
like
sure.
bagel bites, you're basically Hitler. I'm just
But
saying.
I love bagel bites.
See, Hitlers.
What
Well,
I'm
finish the
I'm
homemade
dealing with
one.
people who are Hitler.
Bring 'em with
You
you.
just call anything you don't like Hitler.
Hitler.
That's a slur. Okay, that was
Yeah.
insult, and it had to do with my identity, so it is now a slur.
Look, hashtag. I feel like your use of the word slur in this type of verbiage is kind of slurific towards me.
Why don't we just
It
pulling
was.
a
Was,
full rod now? I mean, that's what we're doing here.
Pulling
the
a
rod.
rod.
Don't ever pull a full rod.
Ah. That's called jelking.
Jelking.
Joking. So this is where we learn that Trey does not watch one of his best friend's content.
Yeah.
He said he would if his best friend would come and see him every now and again.
Oh.
Oh.
That's what Trey told me in private.
So
He was
Trey,
proud.
joking is where you take your penis at the base and you pull it upwards and then you hold it like
Semi-erect,
semi-erect. You can't be fully
not
erect. And you hold it like that for 20 minutes.
20 whole minutes?
Yes.
Yeah, you
and
pull for
it-
20 minutes.
it,
That's why you don't pull a full
it
rod.
causes micro tears in your tissue and supposedly makes it bigger, but it also can destroy the functionality of your rod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trey's
Yeah,
face.
Take care of your wangs. No jelking.
At my place of work, we sell what are called sounding rods.
Those are different, totally different thing.
Oh God!
You know what that's for?
Whoa!
Yes.
Yes. No. Let's not.
Okay.
Next topic.
I can tell you
Yeah.
what it's for.
No thanks.
Sometimes we sell them this big around.
Holy shit!
Oh God!
Not joking.
Anyway, so I think that topic is lived out its full term.
You're welcome.
So yes,
Speaking
thank-
about pricks,
speaking about pricks, I do have something to say here. Just what the actual fuck was this week? That's my question, and I'll leave it to Maddie to.
I didn't hear the question because if
I
you
said,
didn't notice, I somehow yanked my headphones out of my ears.
I asked what the actual fuck happened this week.
Everything bad happened this week.
What happened?
Well, Trump just Friday basically destroyed our economy.
Yep.
Other than that, like there was Greenland, and
Greenland chew.
Yeah.
he was wanting to buy. Well, it said originally we heard that he wanted to buy Greenland, And then we learned that he had considered trading Puerto Rico for Greenland.
Yes.
That's a thing you can do in the world.
Don't move. You
Yes.
can't take one to the other place.
No, because they're still U.S. citizens. Like, what did he think? Automatically Greenland people would be U.S. citizens and automatically people from Puerto Rico would no longer be U.S. citizens, because that's how citizenship works.
He'd have to
Yeah.
think first.
And when the prime minister rejected the idea and was like, it's ridiculous, this is ludicrous, he called her nasty. Of course. Of course
Yes.
she's nasty. She's a woman. She's got to be nasty.
I'm a nasty woman.
Yeah,
I'm proud of that.
that's right. And yeah, so
Rude.
he was completely rude to this woman. It's crazy. Like, Trump tried to buy fucking Greenland, right? Then he declared himself king of Israel.
Yep.
Later, on the White House fuck lawn, he denied any impending recession. Then he looked up to the sky and he said, I'm the chosen one.
As one does.
Yeah.
As one does, yes. And I have a transcript here. Well, first, can we show the video? Because I mean,
What is it? Is it?
it's C-SPAN.
Yeah, you should be able to show C-SPAN. So just make it bigger.
Yeah, I'll make it bigger. And this is. Oh,
Okay, then go ahead.
I can't even with this.
So, the fake news, of which many of you are members,
I think I have the.
Yeah, you have it going at 2 or 1.5.
Like, whoa.
I was like,
did.
Trump is talking way better than normal.
Yeah, right? Okay.
the fake news, of which many of you are members,
Fake news.
is trying to convince the public to have a recession. Let's have a recession. The United States is doing
Let's have a
phenomenally
recession.
well.
Wait,
But one thing
let's just have a recession, y'all.
I've been watching, like news all the time, and I can't tell you how many times the newscasters come on and been like, "Hey, y'all, you remember how nice 2008 was?"
I don't understand. Like it's a
Fuck yeah.
like it's a movie script or something. Like it's okay. We're gonna be meeting on the what was it? The Apprentice, and we're gonna go along like what we're gonna say is gonna happen along the timeline in the story. And we're just gonna have a recession at this part. So
I've
We're
actually got to go for a second. I'm going to go call all my friends, and we're going to have a recession.
That's
Okay.
right.
Okay.
Those done.
Recession parties are the best.
oh yeah, what do you do at a recession party? I mean, you can't.
Look for a
Recess.
job.
Yeah,
Look
you
for a
don't-
job.
just
don't
think.
have much of a budget. So
Think of how much time you have to party if you don't have a job.
Yep.
it's true.
Oh yeah.
Sleepover parties.
Whole lot of fucking.
you have to do
Yeah, let's throw all of our beans together so we can make a soup.
That's what I was talking about. A whole lot of fucking. We're gonna toss our beans together, and make a soup.
Is that a phrase now?
It is now, Mrs. Snarky. Hey, no context quote. We're gonna toss all our beans together and make a soup. Mrs. Snarky 2020.
Hell yeah. That's my platform, y'all.
It's 2019.
one thing I have to do
I was
is
saying it like an
economically take
election
on
thing.
China. Because China has been ripping
Now I have to rewind it.
China.
Sorry, I just had to.
China.
I had.
China.
I had-
China's been ripping us off,
Had
y'all.
to yell at hashtag. Haven't yelled snarky quite enough this one.
I know I've got to yell at you in hashtag this time. Shut up, Evans.
No.
No, sorry.
us off for many years. President Clinton, President Bush, and President Obama and others should have done this long before me. My life would be much easier, although I enjoy doing it, but my life would be much easier if I just said, let China continue to rip off the United States, all right?
Oh my god.
My life would be much easier, although I enjoy doing it. My life would be much easier if I just said, China, we're going to let you keep ripping us off by increasing our standard of living over the last 30 years. Motherfuckers.
And it's all Clinton's fault because reasons.
Yes.
It's got to be about, his opponent in 2016. It can't be about anything else. It can't be his fault. It just, no.
All I gotta say is if Hillary Clinton's emails fixed economy.
Hillary Clinton's emails are the reason why China has been just stealing from us.
That's what they were. They were Hillary Clinton writing to China saying, rip us off.
Rip us off, China. China.
Rip off the United States, all right? It'd be much easier, but I can't do that. We are winning against China. They've lost 2.5 million jobs in a very short period of time. They want to make a deal. It's got to be a deal that's good for the United States. Where they want to make a deal, probably we will make a deal.
Probably. Maybe, I don't know, make a deal.
Does anyone, do you realize he completely forgets what he's saying when he's talking? He starts a sentence. When he was saying there about deal, he had no idea where that sentence was going. He just kept repeating, make a deal, want a deal, make a deal, the art of the deal. Let's have a deal.
2 Corinthians.
Deal or no deal. Howie Mandel.
Howie Mandel. That's right.
But if I didn't do that, and I'm not doing this, somebody said it's Trump's trade war. This isn't my trade war.
It can't be his trade war. There's no fucking way, y'all.
Yeah, this isn't my trade war. I'm just the one that instituted the tariffs.
Yeah.
And has been talking about Trump fucking us for the last 2 decades.
Yeah, I'm the one with the America First platform, and I'm the president, and I've had pretty much full control of this entire administration. But it's not my fault. It's not my fault. I didn't do it. It's Clinton's fault.
So Obama.
Emails did this shit, y'all. Emails.
This is a trade war that should have taken place a long time ago by a lot of other presidents. Over the last 5 or 6 years, China's made $500 billion. 500 billion, ripped it out of the United States. And not only that, if you take a look, intellectual property theft, add that to it, and add a lot of other things to it.
Add some jelly beans, add your soup, add your beans.
Okay.
All in the soup.
He's knockoff toys.
Yeah.
He's talking about the fact that there are Transformers that have the wrong names on them that you can get from China. Is that what he's fucking talking about?
That's exactly what he's talking about.
Stuff like that, yeah.
This is insane.
So for folks that don't know, there are certain countries that certain things can't be sold in. Like a lot of the video game systems cannot be sold to North Korea, and some other countries that do not, the US doesn't deal with, and Japan doesn't deal with, and China kind of stepped into those markets and makes knockoff like video game systems and toys, and then sends them to these countries that don't get them in other areas. And you can also get them, like you can get them if you wanted to, but most people don't, because they're knockoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And also, it's not a trade. This is a trade war that should have happened 4 or 5 years ago. There's no such thing as a trade war that should happen. That's not a thing that exists in this world. There's
He's playing 7D chess, okay? He's on a whole other level. He's a stable genius.
He is anything but.
Fake news.
No.
So somebody had to do it. I am the chosen one. Somebody had to do it.
What?
I have been chosen by God to lead this trade war. Oh, hallelujah.
So it seems like he's being facetious.
It doesn't really matter.
No.
Oh, no, I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
What a dumbass.
Like being facetious.
Go ahead.
about it is like all you're doing is you're shitting on people that actually believe in that shit.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, let's not forget that this came directly on the heels of him quoting an absolute nut job conspiracy theorist who claimed that he was the king of Israel, king of the Jews, and the second coming of God. Right? That's what made it super weird. Like if it was just Trump saying some stupid shit, like we're all used to that by now. But considering those tweets were released in the morning and then this happened in the afternoon,
Yes.
just
in front of the White House, he said this. And evangelicals are just like, he probably is. I don't know.
I woke up to him saying to the tweet about being the king of Israel and the second coming of God. And it takes a lot for Trump to shock me anymore. And those tweets actually did. Because I was like, wait, no.
I'm surprised it took him this long with how much the Christian right was calling him the chosen one before.
I know.
Yeah.
So did you look into, though, the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, which he tried to cite?
Oh, yeah. He cited that last night.
Yeah. And the problem is that it authorizes the president to regulate international commerce after declaring a national emergency in response to any unusual and extraordinary threat to the United States, which has its source in whole or substantial part outside the U.S. So, yeah, if those things were happening, sure, he could cut off trade, he could do a full embargo. But those things aren't fucking happening. He's just like, oh, China bad.
Pretty much.
With China as a threat with the trade war that I started. So
right. Well, it's kind of like the wall, though. Remember, the wall was this national emergency, and now
emergency.
But
he's going to try to play that card at every turn, and this is full megalomaniac bullshit.
Well, Trump and most of his fanboys have no clue what a trade deficit even means, other than well, we're buying more than we're selling, and it's like, well, but that's good.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, they don't understand economics in general. With
they don't.
The immigration stuff. I mean, immigration on the whole is a net economic benefit.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah, and like Greg said last night, or whenever this happened, actually, it was a couple days ago, I think we were talking about just even the tariffs. And he's like, the problem is that anyone who might have tried to talk sense into him is gone now. Like, there is no one there that will try to be like, hey, maybe this isn't a good idea. No one. So
which his answer to this was released later that day. Thankfully, it was released after the markets closed. Because if he had announced this before the markets closed, it would have crashed even further. His announcement that he's increasing the existing tariffs to 30% and then putting tariffs on all the rest of goods that we purchase from China.
Jesus.
So every good that we purchase from China is going to have a pretty substantial tariff on it.
Which is pretty much anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
And everything right now.
Everything.
What happened to him wanting to scale back on this before Christmas?
That's what I'm wondering.
Oh, that's the thing. He received pushback for all the shit that he's done.
Yeah.
And when Trump receives pushback, he doubles down.
Yeah.
That's been the key throughout his entire presidency, is he doubles down. Anytime there's any kind of pushback, he doubles down. And so, like, it would not shock me if by Christmas we see 40, 50% tariffs on some stuff.
Yeah.
And that hurts consumers. It does not hurt anyone other than consumers.
No.
And the thing is then China is raising their tariffs in the same way. And so American consumers are hurt twice, because consumers who are trying to sell stuff in China are now going to be paying substantially more. The
Businesses
Chinese
too.
consumers don't actually get that hit as much as we do, because of the way their economy works. But it's just going to be a back and forth thing, raising and it's going to hurt the economy each and every time.
Yeah, but I mean, Trump says that there's nothing wrong with the economy. And what is so funny about
Trump
that
is not a smart person.
yes. The now White House Chief of Staff, Mick Mulvaney, disagrees with him. He says, yeah, we're probably looking at a tiny, short, moderate little recession, which but even he has to admit, and look at his face. I just love this face. This is the face of utter disappointment and knowing that the shit is hitting the fan.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are they suggesting for the recession length? Things I've seen have been about 12 months. What I've seen.
They're thinking about. It says here they're considering reversing some of the tariffs on China.
Which that's not happening anymore.
Cutting payroll and corporate taxes, of course.
Which means they're gonna fuck Medicare, Social Security, all that stuff, the payroll taxes. That's gonna give them all the ammo to, cut those programs.
Yep. And indexing capital gains taxes to inflation as ways to boost the economy. That's their plan.
So,
and this is a recession that Trump has called irrelevant and not happening and the fake news.
The only reason it's happening is because that one guy dropped out of the race, whoever he is.
Yeah, which that was the biggest BS thing, and just making a joke.
Yeah, what a slap to the face, right? Just you it's bad enough that you're doing all this, but you're mocking the normal people in the process, like the people that are losing money from these stock drops, people that will be out of jobs because of the recession.
Now, and I want to point out this: if we have a recession that lasts a year, the recession ends after the year, but that doesn't mean things are better.
No.
The 2008 recession ended in 2009. And it took pretty much Obama's entire term to get us back on place where we were prior to the recession.
Yeah, easy to get stuck in the mud. It's so much harder to get unstuck.
So,
because I mean, all a recession is the consecutive months of declining GDP.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's all it is.
And the problem is, and anybody that studied economics realizes the compounding effects that GDP has. Right. If you have positive, say you've got, 2% is way better than 1%. And you can look back through the history of the economy and the way that the GDP grows. And these small percentage increments have such compounding effects over time. You can look at the differences between, say, the American GDP and that of Mexico. And if our GDP would have been 1% lower during the 70s and the 80s, in 1990, we would have had the same wealth equivalency as Mexico, right? I mean, that's huge.
Yeah.
So a recession basically cuts off compounding growth whenever you have declining GDP. That's like, come on, it's ridiculous.
And I guarantee you that there isn't a person in the economic portion of our government, especially in Trump's administration, that isn't hoping for some major national disasters. Because natural disasters are great when it comes to GDP.
Yep.
That and they're a nice distraction for this dumpster fire presidency.
Right.
Well, and then with this one, we're not going to have much in the way of options to deal with it with monetary policy either, because the Fed's running real low interest rates for years now, and so there's not much they can do to correct that way either.
Like the scariest thing is the interest rates in the US have been absolutely preposterously low for so long, and I don't know. Like, I haven't looked much in. Can we go negative interest? Like, is that possible? Because
I don't think so.
I can't see how.
I mean, yeah, I don't.
I have no idea.
I believe I,
they can
remember
fall to a-
someone like I seem to remember there was. Okay, so Europe has ran negative interest rates in the past. It's really bad for your economy.
Wait, no way.
Yeah, it's super bad for your economy.
What? No shit.
Super bad, y'all. Not
Yeah.
just bad, super bad.
It was done in Europe. It was an experiment meant to spur economic growth from people
Did it
who were
work?
seeing inflation as the reason the economy was doing poorly.
Huh.
And it backfired big time.
No way.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I read somebody, a few people have mentioned that Wall Street is not the economy, so we shouldn't. Basically, I guess the gist of it was, just because Wall Street's having a bad day, it doesn't affect me, right?
Yes, it fucking does.
That's
sure
the way. That's the
Hope
way.
you don't have a retirement planned.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Mhm.
But one thing that I find disturbing here is that he seems to be like setting the groundwork for corporate and payroll tax cuts. Because he's like, I've been thinking about payroll taxes for a long time. Whether we do it now it's not because of the recession, right? We're just.
It's the only reason that they would do this.
It's fake news, though, right?
And it doesn't work. It's not, it wouldn't work. It's,
Well, like the economy's strong anyway, so it can't be that.
Yeah. Well, have you stopped to consider maybe that? And I hear that you're saying that it doesn't work, Maddie, and I understand that plight, but I don't think that you're a stable genius in the same way that Trump is.
so
And there may be something that you're missing here that we can't see going on in the 4D chess game.
do y'all remember during the Bush era and God, I can't remember what it's even called right now. My brain's drawn a blank. But where everybody got a check.
Yeah, the stimulus package.
The stimulus package. Because that was going to boost the economy. That was going to be great. It was going to be amazing. It was going to fix everything. And it only fixes everything if people spend that money on large-scale purchases.
Yeah, and you can't do that
But yeah, you can't do that when you lose your job and you get a check for $1,400. That's going to go to food.
Mhm.
Yeah, or you're
and
going to pay
necessities.
rent, your bills.
Yeah, bills. So that's what this would do if you give a payroll deduction. It's not going to go towards large scale purchases because payroll deductions are not that large of a portion of your check. And if you don't have the payroll deductions coming out, then a portion of that is going to go towards income tax. And it's going to be a very small amount on your check. It doesn't do anything for the economy at large.
Yeah, well, nobody's taking the extra $45 they get in a week and saying, "Hey, I'll buy a new car."
That's right.
Upgrade the size of our house. You're like, well, fantastic. Maybe we can eat Hot Pockets instead of ramen this week.
Honey, we're getting 2 gallons of milk this week.
Yeah.
Go get some of the bagel bites.
Uh-huh. No, we can't do
They're
that.
so good.
Those are bad like memes.
But that's the thing is conservatives do not understand at all anymore how economics work.
No.
At all. And it is our government as a whole is by and large people in the upper class that have never really had to struggle. So any extra money that they had, because all their bills were already covered, went towards buying other things.
Mm-hmm.
They never had to worry about any of that. So that's why we hear asinine things like, well, you know, if you didn't have an iPhone, you could have a house.
Yeah, that's
Right.
or
No.
just don't buy Starbucks this week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't buy
Really
Starbucks this
avocado
week.
toast that's wrecking the economy.
Yeah.
Of
That's what all the
course.
boomers told me.
Just the complete arrogance of it is just maddening to me. Like a big fucking bank takes the time to make this post on Twitter. Well, your bank account wouldn't be negative if you didn't have that Starbucks. It's like, really? Like, you're going to deny people like the one simple fucking pleasure that they get out of fucking life during their hellish work week?
Right?
Well,
Right.
that's the
Or
thing. You're not
judge
supposed to
them.
enjoy life if you're poor, because there's a
Yeah,
reason you're
right.
poor. It's because God doesn't love you.
Well, I knew that
Aw.
already.
Why doesn't God love me?
I'm not even joking. This goes back to Christian dominionist ideas that and prosperity gospel. The right has been taken over by prosperity gospel believers, like Mike Pence and others in the administration have the prosperity gospel. That's their idea. So all
Yeah.
the poor deserve to be poor.
And it's weird because it's this strange marriage between Randian objectivism and Christianity.
Well, that's what happened in the 1960s and 70s. They went towards that and said, how can we make Randian ideals line up with Christianity? And
Yeah.
that's where we got the Christian right.
It's
None
so
of it
bizarre.
makes sense.
Because Jesus wasn't like, rich guys are the ones that get into heaven.
Nope. In
Like, that's-
fact, it's harder for a
Camel.
rich guy to get into heaven than it is for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think Jesus is all about the big banks. But
He
You
like
mean
flip
Ayn Rand
tables
and
there.
Jesus aren't the same people?
No.
I'm so confused now.
Huh.
She's my
Watch the
favorite
video
philosopher.
tomorrow.
I don't consider her really a philosopher.
She's my
but
favorite one.
she, I guess maybe you could argue she is, but
She
No.
is. She's just not a very good one.
no.
If your idea of philosophy is someone that put a bunch of words on a page and didn't live up to it themselves,
Now,
There
I
you
just learned though
That's
that
a pretty good definition for a philosopher, though.
Yeah.
it is. It is too.
It's not
It is.
bad.
That's why I said if that's the loosest term that you go with for philosophy, then yeah, I count her.
There's a few that fit in that category.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me.
To be fair, she did put forward some theories, and ways of looking at it. They're just bad. They're faulty. But,
And I always liked, whenever we bring up Ayn Rand, I always like to remind people that the person that said that altruism is immoral died while getting government welfare.
Yep. Beautiful.
yeah. Well, I mean, her excuse was she was paid into it, so she was entitled to it.
Yeah.
So
But the case
and that's
is-
that's the excuse for it and stuff. And it's like, all right, we're paying into this now. This is what we want. Oh, but we don't want that. That's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I paid into it, so I'm pretty sure I want it. So
It's my money and I want it now.
So one more thing about Trump's recession, because this is Trump's fucking recession, is what about those little jobs that he said were going to come back? The little factory jobs of the people who worked for him or voted for him and said that he was going to bring those jobs back?
You mean like the companies that decided to stay in business until the end of 2018 so that they could take a bunch of tax breaks in 2019 and then shipped all their jobs over?
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
So that's a problem. I can't help but wonder if these voters know that this is a result of his nonsense.
Some do.
Yeah.
Very few, to be honest with you. Because
And-
this goes back to Trump saying that he loves the uneducated voter.
Oh God.
He loves uneducated people because he's going to be able to feed them that this was actually the result of the Democrats in Congress. And if you just vote for him again, He'll fix it all.
Yeah, it's I don't know how anybody could buy that line when they controlled all three branches of government
And
for
couldn't
at least
do
the first 2
anything.
years.
Didn't get anything
How
done.
the hell do you have all three branches of government and still be deadlocked?
Yeah, I don't know.
How?
It's almost as if, like you said, that we don't have a government really. There's still vacancies in his administration. Things aren't running the way they're supposed to. The economy is tanking. We're not getting these jobs back, and I hope that people notice right before, because he's going around, he's still campaigning. He hasn't stopped. He's been campaigning since 2015. Right. So, I mean, he's playing up that he's going to do even better in the second term when he's really, he's destroyed a lot in this one term.
So the thing is, in 2016, while his base is by and large poor and uneducated voters, he did also get a lot of white suburban voters that had voted Democrat in past elections. He got a lot, not a lot, but a significant portion of like the Latino and the black vote. Those people I don't think are going to vote for him again. Those are gone, and he only needs, like I keep saying, he only needs to lose a couple percentage points in a few demographics, and he's done.
Yeah, he was barely, I mean, he wanted to make it out like this big win, landslide. It was not. It was not. He didn't win the popular vote. He squeaked by the Electoral College. So, yeah, I think you might be right. If he loses just a little bit, it could make all the difference.
He eked by a win against the most unpopular candidate on the Democrat side, I believe, in history. Except for McGovern, I think, was less popular. So he barely eked by. And like, if you look at the Democratic primary this year, one positive is there's no Hillary Clinton on that ticket.
Yes.
Every single candidate on that side of the aisle is more popular than Hillary Clinton was.
Yeah, but there's Joe Biden.
And there's Joe Biden, but we've talked about this on my channel that even if Joe Biden if he got through the primary, I think he would still destroy Trump.
I think so, but
he's not my choice.
Then we'd have Joe Biden.
Yeah, he's not my choice, but I am very optimistic about 2020. I am not so optimistic about us getting to 2020.
Yeah.
Like what is going to happen in the next year and a half?
Yeah, so and like I said before, this is a major voting block for Trump. This is the Midwest, right? It all boils down to the Midwest. Ain't nothing here, but everything that is here matters a whole lot. And so I don't think the farmers are too happy. And as it points out in this article, this is a major area where steel is manufactured as well. And also in the South, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, all the Rust Belt states. Yeah. So this is...
Steel's taking a beating right now.
Oh yeah.
I know that. I know that intimately, right? Like that's one of the industries that I serve. And like right now, and the steel industry, luckily, they're not being shy about it, right? It is, these tariffs are destroying our ability to make money. Sorry about the layoffs. They're directly proportionate to the tariffs. Sorry about your benefits being cut. Sorry about your hours being cut. Sorry about your, wages and bonuses not going up like they should be. It's the tariffs, because people don't realize, it's like Trump idiotically said, well, just buy it elsewhere. Don't get it from China. Don't get it from Mexico. You can't, right? You can't get the steel slabs from any fucking where else. And so what do? The consumers got to eat it. And along the process, all the employees got to eat it. I mean, U.S. Steel's laying off 200 people.
Well, anything
Ridiculous. And the steel industry was freaking wide ass open and has been for a while. And now it's just, you know,
anything metal. Because I work for a company that we import a lot of metal products from China. And the instant that the tariffs went into play, everything just doubled. And that's the thing is prices do not go up according to what the tariff is. Prices go up according to the fear of the person that's exporting the product. So if someone looks at this, like when Trump says, I'm upping the tariff to 30%, the person that's shipping that to us, they may increase their price by 50% because they're worried about what's going to happen 3 months, 6 months down the line.
Yep. And it seems that the Economist in this article at least agrees that the tariffs are a major part of this story. I mean, you can look at when the tariffs hit and when we started seeing this lag in the sectors, in the big factory sectors. Oh boy.
Well, that's because most steel in the US was coming from China.
Right.
We were getting it from China and producing stuff.
Mexico.
And Mexico. And we've fucked our deals with Mexico as well.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And so like and this isn't, I'm not knocking foreign trade, but the steel that's produced in the US is a much higher quality steel. And it is made for specialist type instruments and
well, that's not even the thing, because a lot of the steel manufacturers here use raw steel from Mexico, from China, from these other places that is imported, that is a lower quality by design, right?
Yeah.
And then we make high quality stuff out of it. And so there's not the raw manufacturing capabilities to make, say, the slabs or the coils or whatever you're converting into the things. We don't have that here, right? Because we've always been reliant on places that could do that cheaper, right, than us doing it here. And so again, it's one of those things that you just can't go out and buy the steel that you need to convert into the high quality steel.
Yeah, it can't be done. And that's something we haven't mentioned so far. Is part of Trump's tweet this week was demanding U.S. companies stop dealing with China, and return to the U.S. Most of these companies don't have anything in the U.S.
And you're looking at decades, right? Especially whenever we look at like electronics tooling, people don't realize how long it takes to build up these manufacturing facilities. Like you don't just snap your hands and build a steel mill. And so even if you started now, but you couldn't buy from China, your company would be bankrupt years before you got even remotely close to the output. I mean, China spent the last 3 decades heavily investing into tooling and facilities and workforces and things like that. They have a humongous head start on the rest of the world. You can't get around that, right? You know, even if you started now, it would take us 30 years to catch up.
Well, and that's the thing is China. Well, you've mentioned Mexico as well, but China basically is just a manufacturing monster when it comes to products like steel and other products that we would manufacture products with here. We in trade with China still has the entire world to trade with.
Yep.
We do not have anywhere to go for these products. There's not another country on this earth that can produce the amount of steel that we need other than China.
Yeah, we're not the only fish in the sea for them
at
all, but we're definitely more dependent upon what they can produce than.
Well, and it's like I've said, the U.S. populace cannot take the issues that this is going to cause like the Chinese populace can. And it's because we are a constitutional republic. They are still a communist nation. And communist nations can just say, eat it. And the people basically have to do it, or they're put in a camp. That's not the way it is here. Or
nobody wants to go to the camp. Nobody wants to go to the camp. The camp is bad.
Yeah, I'm just saying that because it's just a fact. China still arrests countless political dissidents every year, and complaining about the economy is a political dissident. So
look at what's going on in Hong Kong right now.
Yeah.
They're even trying to control that massively. So yeah, they don't let people disagreeing with them do much there.
No.
Yeah. Ask the people that joined that met up at Tiananmen Square how they feel about dissidents in China.
Red, did you have something you were going to say? I think I cut you off back then.
Who?
What were you asking?
Red. I thought Red was trying to say something when I started my last point. And
if I was, I don't remember what I was thinking of.
Good point.
Yep.
Best point of the evening.
Best point.
Yeah. So this is fucked, y'all.
Trump fucking sucks.
Yeah. Well, Trump sucks. He went nuts. He's king, the king of Israel. Okay, he's the chosen one.
Well, but
let me see if I can pull up those tweets because that was funny.
Well, while you do that, I'll mention something else. The jobs that leave, they aren't the jobs that are going to come back.
No, they were never going to come back to begin with.
No. And here's the deal about from the 2008 to 2009, brand new industries had to be created in order for the recession to end and for us to recover. So those jobs that have left now, they're not coming back. They're going to have to create new jobs in new fields in order to do that. Now, one field that is rife for that is in clean energy. Clean energy would bring millions of jobs to the U.S.
Yes.
And even then, we're behind the 8 ball.
Oh, yeah. We're still way
by like
behind.
3 decades behind China there, too.
Oh, yeah. But that's something that the conservatives are never going to kick clean energy into gear.
No, never.
All right, go ahead and you can start reading.
I just want to say that waking up to this was shocking because I was raised evangelical, y'all. Like, I know what would have happened to me if I had said, "Hey, I'm going to grow up to be king of the Jews."
King of the Jews.
I would get my ass beat. I mean, that just because that would be blasphemous. It would be sacrilegious. It would be like the worst possible thing you could ever say, right? And he fucking did it. Like, he was like, "Oh, this guy, he says I'm like the king of Israel. They love him." Oh my God, let me just read this whole thing. "Thank you to Wayne Ellenroot for the very nice words. Quote, President Trump is the greatest president for the Jews and for Israel in the history of the world, not just America. He is the best president for Israel in the history of the world. And the Jewish people in Israel love him like he's king of the Jews, or like he's king of Israel. They love him like he is the second coming of God. But American Jews don't know him or like him. They don't know what they're doing or saying anymore. It makes no sense, but that's okay. If he keeps doing what he's doing, he's good for all Jews, blacks, gays, everyone. And importantly, he's good for everyone in America who wants a job." Wow.
And something that I haven't even noticed. Okay, that second tweet there. But American Jews don't know him or like him comes right after he's the second coming of God.
Yeah.
This is fucking relating Trump to Jesus.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Because if you read the Bible, the Jews didn't like Jesus. didn't
Yeah,
know
but-
he was the son of God. And now the American Jews, they don't know that Trump is the son of God as well. And this is a horribly anti-Semitic thing that you can write out, because what it's saying is if American Jews knew what was good for them, they'd be voting for
Yeah.
anyone that says they love Israel.
Yep.
And
Exactly.
what the fuck?
Yeah. So are you familiar with all the different conspiracy theories this Root has had recently?
The who?
The guy who made these comments.
Oh,
Trump-
Oh,
Well,
I'm not familiar with this guy.
This guy makes Alex Jones seem rational.
So
Wow.
he was, yeah,
Well, lovely.
he's a birther. He was where else were we on it?
9/11 truther.
Yeah.
Yep. He's
Flat earther.
pretty much
His thing on the Unite the Right rally stuff, you know, such BS, probably paid actors and infiltrators hired by Soros. No conservative I've ever met commits violence ever.
Oh, what the hell? I don't know anyone that commits violence, therefore they can't. What?
Yep, that's bullshit.
That's not how shit works.
no. But
Yeah.
this I unfortunately I did not get a screenshot of it. It was like I saw it and I went to open it to screenshot a full image, but it was deleted like right as I was opening it.
Oh.
Trump retweeted a parody account that was just trashing him.
It's gotta be
Yes.
something that's gotta be archived.
I hope I wasn't able to find it afterwards, but there was a whole tweet string of people that had responded to it right away. But yeah, it was just trashing him, and he retweeted it because it was talking about how great the president is.
Wonderful. That's amazing.
That is.
Well, I don't know. I've had my fill of Trump for now.
That should never be a word that ever comes out. Fill of Trump. We all know that Trump is a mushroom boy and has never given anyone a fill of anything.
Oh my. Well, does anybody have any other topics they'd like to discuss or rant about?
You know, I think I was supposed to have a topic, but I don't remember what it was.
It was you were going to talk about the Trump tweets.
Oh, that's right. And we just talked about it. So
We
this was
just
my
talked-
topic, everybody. I
Yes.
created this entire show.
Yes. Good job.
Good job.
Oh, no.
Good job, open.
I'm ready for
Is that?
what, Red?
Oh, this is a conspiracy account, not a parody one.
Oh,
Never mind. It's a different one. I was looking for it, and it linked me to one from the end of July from a conspiracy account that he retweeted.
oh no, this was just yesterday. And it was only up for a short period of time. It was up for just a short period of time, had like 1,000 comments of people just calling him an asshat and just a ridiculous clown.
I love that. That is amazing. Oh. What do you think, Trey?
I don't want to think about it.
Well, do you have anything to rant about, Trey? No.
I could probably pull something out of my ass with some.
Do that in a Patreon show, because pulling something out of your ass live on YouTube is not a good idea.
You can pull it out maybe on the after show, maybe.
Someone did that with a banana one time and they never lived it down.
True story.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose we could wrap things up.
Now we are going to have an after show.
Yes, we are going to have an after show. And if you're a patron of mine, you're more than welcome to join. You'll get a link in Patreon. So be sure to go check over there for the link, because I'll be posting it there if you want to join. And also, I have Streamlabs. What is it again?
The easiest thing to remember, streamlabs.com/Mrs. Snarky.
That is my Streamlabs. Yeah. Shill for me, baby. Shill for me. And I also have a Patreon. So, yay. And I have merch down in the doobly-doos, all the links. And
You can't say doobly-doo. You can't steal Crash Course's doobly-doo.
Doobly-doo. Hey, Crash Course is not the only one that says doobly-doo.
You're not allowed.
Doobly-doo is what everybody calls it. So I'm going to call it that too. So yeah, thank you very much for joining us. And I want to go ahead and go through my guests one more time. Maddie?
I'm Maddie of Objectively Subjective. If you're not subscribed to me, you're a bad person.
And Evans?
Howdy, y'all. I'm Faithless Southerner. Go subscribe.
And hashtag?
Hey, I'm hashtag Heathen. Subscribe to my channel, and you get an interesting video tomorrow.
Yeah, looking forward to that. And Trey?
Hi, I'm Trey. You could support my Patreon too. I have one. It's probably Art of TC Baldwin or some shit. It's off the top of my head, which shows that I really care about it. But
Patreon.com/Art of TC Baldwin.
if you post, if you pledge over $5 or above, you will get a PDF that I'm currently working on of all of the comics I've ever made up to this point.
Oh shit!
Some of them are pretty cool, and some of them are hot garbage. But you're gonna see them.
The ones that he claims are hot garbage are actually my favorites.
I don't understand why.
I
Maddie
loved
doesn't
that
like me.
series.
This
No,
is-
I loved. He had a series called Collapsar,
Collapsar Comics.
and I absolutely adored them. They were in the vein of like a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy kind of thing. They were just amazing, and then he stopped doing them.
That's correct. The
How
story,
dare you?
the story is good done. Had no more to say about X-Ray.
That's what would have made him famous.
No, it's really not.
Would've.
So much better since then.
No, he doesn't.
Whatever. I will fight you.
I will make sure to put Trey's Patreon link in the description after I get everything said and done here. And Red.
Yeah, Red Vencher, my channel. I got a video coming out tomorrow. It's supposed to be out today, but technical issues.
I liked Red's earlier stuff.
Yeah.
What, the gaming streams with me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I just liked his response to certain people.
Certain.
You'll like this one. I have fun shitting on the outrage grifters in this video.
Hell yeah. Awesome. All right. So that's the cast, everyone. This has been the show. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and also know yourself and stay snarky. Bye.
Special thank you to all my lovely patrons. I so appreciate your support. Also, make sure you like, share, and subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can get notifications.